Hello. So in this part, we will be solving the next example, which is about the fillet weld, design of fillet weld. So in the problem, it says a tie member of 75 by 8 size is used to transmit a factored load of 145 kilonewton. Design fillet weld and necessary overlaps for the cases shown in the figure. The steel used is of grade Fe410 and assuming the gusset plate to be of 12 thickness. So in this case, there is a tie member and the dimension of tie member is 75 by 8 So 75 will be the width of this tie member and thickness of tie member will be 8 And this tie member needs to transmit a factored load of 145. So this is the required load which it needs to transmit through the joint. So to transmit this load, we need to design the fillet weld, and in the fillet weld, we need to find out the necessary overlap in the three cases. So there are three cases of the joint. In the first case, you can see, say for example, if the force will be like this, say this force is like this, then in the direction of this force we are supposed to provide the weld in this direction, and when we provide welding in the direction of the force, then those weld is called longitudinal weld. In the second case, we are supposed to provide longitudinal weld as well as the transverse weld when the length of weld is perpendicular to the direction of the force. Then this weld will be transverse, this weld will be longitudinal, and this weld will be longitudinal. Similarly, in the third case, we are supposed to provide the welding on all four sides, this side, this side, this side, and this side. So it means we are supposed to provide longitudinal as well as transverse weld in the third case. And while providing the length of weld, we are supposed to find out how much overlap will be required, how much overlap of tie member and the gusset plate will be required to carry this much load. So briefly, I would say that in the design, we are supposed to find out the effective length of weld, and then we will distribute this length of weld, say in the first case along the sides, in the second case along three sides, and in the fourth case along all four sides. So we are supposed to find out this effective length of weld, and then we will try to distribute it. And in the distribution, we are supposed to find out how much overlap will be required to carry the load. So we will start this numerical. So first process is to write the given data. How much data, I mean whatever data is given, we will write here in our solution. So given data. So first data which is given here is the size of tie member. Size of tie member is given 75 by 8 So that is the size of tie member. Then factored load is given. Factored load is equals to 145 kilonewton. So this is already given in the numerical. Then steel grade, steel plate which is being used in this joint, they have grade Fe410. And in this we have Fu value as 410 MPa and Fy as 250 MP. Okay, so that is the steel plate grade. Now you can see in the three cases there are first two cases are using the shop welding, and the last case is using the site welding. So why it is being mentioned? Because if site welding or shop welding is mentioned, then we need to choose the right partial safety factor, which is gamma MW in our welding connection design. So gamma MW, for shop welding will be 1.25. I have already explained how do we choose this using the IS code in the first example. So you can check that gamma MW using the field welding, field or site welding. Then in this case, gamma MW or safety factor is 1.50. Okay. So this is the data which is given here. So now, as I said that we are supposed to find out the length of weld, how much length of weld is required to carry this load, So we are supposed to find out that. So we can find out that length using a relation. So technically, in all cases, for weld joint, to be safe, what is the condition? The condition is design strength of weld should be greater than or equals to the factored load which it is intended to support or transmit. So the design strength of weld, in our case it is fillet weld. So the design strength of fillet weld should be greater than or equals to the factored load. Now we know the formula of design strength of weld and we know the value of factored load which is already given in the problem. So we can equate them, and with that we will be able to identify, or we will be able to find out the length of weld, effective length of weld. So design strength of weld in case of fillet weld will be Fu into Te multiplied by Lw under root 3 multiplied by gamma MW, and this should be equals to or greater than the factored load. Now factored load is given here as 145 kilonewton, or we can write 145 into 10 raised to power 3 Newton. As we are required this length of weld in mm, we will use this value. Okay. So in this formula, another parameter which we need to find out is Te. Now Te is the throat thickness. Fu is given. Lw needs to find out. Gamma MW we have just find out. Now we need to find out this value Te. Now Te is the throat thickness, and in fillet weld, throat thickness is represented by Te, and it is equivalent to 0.7 times of S. Now what is S? S is the size of weld. Now you can see in the problem there is no mention of the size of weld. So which means we need to estimate the size of weld. First we need to find out the size of weld. I mean, we need to estimate the size of weld, and in estimation we generally find out the maximum value of size of weld and the minimum value of size of weld, and we generally assume the value of size of weld in between the minimum and maximum value. So here we will write estimation of size of weld, which is S. So for this, first we will see what is the minimum size of weld. Minimum size of weld. So here in the lecture I will show you. So this is the slide that I have already mentioned. So minimum size of weld can be find out using this table. So while calculating the minimum size of weld, we generally consider the thickness of thicker part. So in our case, we have two members to join. One is the gusset plate. Thickness of gusset plate is 12 mm and thickness of tie member is the 8 mm. So the thicker part is 12. So for 12 mm, now it says if the thickness of thicker part is over 10 and less than or including the 20. So our thickness is 12 mm. It lies between 10 and 20. So for this, minimum size of weld will be 5. So we will write here minimum size of weld, and in the bracket I will write for 12 mm thick gusset plate. It will be 5 mm. So I hope you understand how we find out this 5 mm. Similarly, now minimum size of weld can be 5 mm. Now maximum size, maximum allowable size of weld in our case will be, so first we will find minimum and now we are finding the maximum size, maximum allowable size of weld. Maximum allowable size of weld. For this, we will again go to the lecture and here you see maximum size of weld. It says thickness of thinner plate minus 1.5. So now in our case, in the first case we have checked the thickness of thicker plate. While calculating the maximum size of weld, we generally see the thickness of thinner plate. So in our case, gusset plate thickness is 12 and tie member thickness is 8. So the thinner part will be tie member. So tie member thickness is 8 mm. So for 8 mm, we will find out the maximum size of weld. For 8 mm thick section. So for this 8 minus 1.5. So you see, I'm again showing. So how do we find out thickness of thinner plate minus 1.5 mm. So 8 minus 1.5 mm. So this becomes 6.5. So now you can see minimum size of weld can be taken as 5 mm and maximum size of weld can be taken as 6.5 mm. So we can assume the value of weld between 5 to 6.5. So let's assume the size of weld as 5 mm. So first we are taking size of weld. I'm writing here assuming size of weld as 5 mm. Okay. So once we find out the size of weld as, so this size of weld is represented by S. So why we were calculating this size of weld? Basically to find out this value, throat thickness. Throat thickness depends on this formula, and in this formula S is included. And why we are required to find out tau E? Because to get the value of LW. So basically our aim is to transmit this load. So for this load, how much length of weld will be required? So using this formula, we need all the values, like we need to have TE. So for the calculation of TE, we are finding the size of weld. So now we can find out TE as 0.7 times of S, which is 0.7 times of 5. So this becomes 3.5 mm. So this is the throat thickness. So till now we have find out the basic values. Now we will take case one by one. So we will take case A. So first we will take case A. Sorry for the interruption. So case A will be the first diagram. So we are taking this first diagram. So case A, in the case A, we will find out strength of weld. Sorry. Strength of weld as LW into TE into FU upon under root 3 into gamma MW. Now, if we equate this strength of weld with the factored load, as I mentioned in the earlier, here you see again. So there you can see design strength of weld should be greater than or equals to the factored load. So what we are doing is we are equating this, and then we are trying to find out the effective length of weld for case A. So on the LHS, now I'm writing the factored load, which is 145 into 10 raised to power 3 is equals to LW multiplied by TE, we have already calculated, which is 3.5 multiplied by 410 upon 3 multiplied by 1.25. Why I'm taking 1.25? Because first case is choke welding. So now the only unknown value is LW. So to support this much load, the LW value comes out as 218.77. So we approximately round off this value as 220 mm. So this is the total length of weld which is required to transmit this much load. Now again go to the first case. In the first case, you can see we know this value is 75, but we have to provide welding along this side and along this side. So the total length required is 220 mm. So on both sides, what we can do is we can provide half of length. So the length which we have just calculated is 220. So what we can do is we will write providing length on each side as 220 by 2, which is 110. So on both sides, we are providing length of weld as 110. So there we can see this length will be 110 mm. So now you can see the overlap of the tie member in first case will be 110 mm. And also, as I mentioned in the lecture, that generally we provide and returns. So again, I'm showing and returns. You can see here, I have already mentioned that whenever we are providing effective length of weld on these two sides, what we do is we generally provide and returns. Sorry for the interruption.